Welcome back to the Gardening with Joy and Holly radio show. It's our 200th broadcast of this program with the course of 6.5 years, 35 shows a year. We thank you for being a supporting listener of the program and just being with us for the show. Holly, got a question for you.
Okay.
A lot of people plant trees, shrubs, that type of thing, right?
Yes.
And those are not cheap investments, right?
No, it's an investment.
So if you forget to water or you don't have the rain to water and it dies, that's pretty big matzo ball in the wallet there. Not much, pretty big loss.
Yes.
Tree Diaper can fix that. If you use a Tree Diaper, it's going to water the plant for you over the course of 30 days and save the investment for a lifetime.
Correct. Tree Diaper is a revolutionary watering system that slowly releases water on the base of any tree or plant as the soil dries. The Tree Diaper is filled with water from rain or when you water and slowly releases water over 3 weeks' time. So you don't need any pipes, hoses, electricity, no more overwatering, underwatering, guessing. Water your plants and trees, whether they are by the house, down the road, or in the back 40. Also works under mulch. Whether you're a first-time gardener or advanced Tree Diaper will improve the way you water your plants. Made in the USA, you can find out all the sizes they have available at treediaper.com. That's treediaper.com.
Yeah, indoors, outdoors, patio, porch, backyard, back 40, wherever you got a plant. Works great on vegetables, too. We've been using it in our vegetable garden for garden for 2 years, and it's done a phenomenal job in order allowing us to have produce in places where we would not have otherwise.
Yeah, it did good with some squash last year.
Yes.
Something else. Brussels sprouts.
Brussels sprouts did phenomenal. So as you are getting items out of your garden, we're going to talk about what to do correctly. Now, you may be doing it correctly now, but you may not be. So we're going to go over several points here to help your harvest better once it's been removed from the garden.
So here's something that I learned, I think, from you, actually.
Oh, from me? Mm-hmm. Well, somebody write that up. We'll put it on the fridge.
First of all, I learned a lot of things from you.
Okay.
Okay? So anyway, it's to leave dirt on your root crops.
Right.
So whether it be anything from your carrots to your radishes to your beets, if you're not going to eat them and process them right away, leave the dirt on them.
It creates a barrier between the vegetable or the root crop and the air. True enough, it will begin to dry out. But by wiping this or rinsing the dirt off of that particular item, you're going to accelerate that air to fruit or root much quicker, and it will dry out. So leaving the dirt on it, potatoes, carrots, radishes, that type of thing. But also now, in addition to that, if you're doing like radishes, if you harvest a radish today and you put it on your counter, by tomorrow it'll be shriveled up tinier than you ever knew it could possibly be. You want to put that in an airtight container or bag and put it in your fridge. That will hold, and then just add a little bit of water in that to allow moisture to be in there so it doesn't dry out. And you got to use it, pretty quick, or process it or store it, in that manner. You just can't leave it there for weeks on end. Potatoes and beets you can, radishes, carrots, not so much.
Right, exactly. And
the size of the fruit the size of the item makes a tremendous difference on how quick it will dry out or shrivel up.
Absolutely. So another thing is you want to keep tomatoes and potatoes out of the fridge.
Get them out of there.
So potatoes, it changes the sugar content and the molecular starches of it. And then tomatoes, I'm not sure why we don't want to keep tomatoes in the fridge.
It loses the sweetness.
Oh, okay, that's what it is. So that also changes the sugar content. And they're both part of the nightshade family,
right.
So maybe that's something to do with it. But you can keep peppers in the fridge.
Right, but keep this in mind. If you are pick an item, and you harvest it from outside where it lived, and you bring it indoors and you want to put it in the fridge, think about how it was grown. Potatoes, tomatoes, peppers, eggplants, that type of thing. You don't have to, shove it in the fridge right as soon as you get home. You can leave it on the counter in your climatized home. It's going to be a little cooler than outside, but you don't have to, figure out what to do with it. It lived outside for 80 or 90 days just fine, the plant, and then a couple, probably a month when it was getting larger if it was a tomato, other things. So, keep that in mind. How was it grown outside? And you don't have to, you can kind of mimic that indoors or in your garage.
You can also look at what in the grocery store, right?
Yeah.
The potatoes are not in the refrigerator section. The tomatoes aren't either.
No.
So you want to keep that in mind. Another one is keep squash in a cool, dry place. This includes your winter squash, your summer squash. You want to eat that fairly quickly, but the winter squash,
Pumpkins, spaghetti squash, acorn.
Yeah.
All of those. Now I have, and we have done this. We have grew zucchini, and we've got it fairly large, 4 or 5 pound zucchini. And we've kept it through winter to, I think, as late as the first week in March, the following year. And we just kept it just like we did with the winter squash. It was large enough that it didn't dry out. But by that point in March, it was getting dry on the inside. So you kind of had to add the spices and the seasoning with a lot of butter and a little bit of oil in order to get it palatable. But it was palatable at that point. But again, you should probably eat it much sooner than at 7 months after you've harvested it, especially with the winter squash on that. Parboiling or blanching or freezing your items.
Right. So before we get into that, I'm just going to mention there's a few things that you can do where you don't have to parboil, blanch, or
what is parboil versus blanch?
That's like the same thing.
Okay. Yeah. And freeze, we all know what that is.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you say you have a lot of onions or zucchini and you want to save them, but you don't want to, as I said here, parboil or blanch them, you can just chop them up and freeze them.
Okay.
Now, if you're going to put it like in a stew or a soup or something, if it's something that you want to, you can do it with probably peppers as well.
Yeah, peppers you can.
Yeah. To put in a, maybe some chili or soup, because it is going to, once you thaw it, if you just freeze it directly once you thaw it, it's going to get a little mushy. Mm-hmm. But if you're just using it to add to a soup, that's going to.
But if you think you're going to pull it out and then pan fry it like you would a right out of the garden piece of zucchini, not going to happen.
No, this is stuff that you're adding to some sort of soup or something, or even like a roast or whatnot. So just keep that in mind. It's going to get mushy. Now, if you want to keep the shape and integrity of the vegetable, then you can do something called parboiling. It's where you boil something just for about a minute, then you put it directly into an ice bath. But that process allows it, once you freeze it, to kind of keep its natural vegetable state.
And real quick, if you've got a lot of zucchini and you don't know what to do with it, look up mock zucchini. Or mock pineapple you use with zucchini. You can go to our parent website, the WisconsinVegetableGardener.com, put in mock zucchini, which you infuse.
Mock pineapple.
Mock pineapple. I keep getting that confused. Mock pineapple, you're taking zucchini, infusing pineapple juice, canning it, and whenever you get it done, people would bet millions of dollars that you actually canned pineapple, not zucchini. So mock pineapple. Mock pineapple is what you need to search for. All right, melons, eat those right away. I mean, you probably got a week, but I mean, you're not going to have long-term shelf life for a cantaloupe or muskmelon or watermelon.
Didn't we try to freeze watermelon once?
I don't.
Or something like that?
We tried. I don't remember. I know we did something. We tried to do something with the juice, and I don't remember. It's too far gone to remember. It didn't end well. I know that.
Yeah, it wasn't like.
I know when we tried to make lettuce soup, that was a terrible experiment. That didn't end well.
No.
Don't make lettuce soup.
No, please don't.
You could dehydrate lettuce. We've done that on a very small level that you can like throw into a soup or stew, but it's just better to eat it in a salad as soon as you get it. It's as bad as it sounds. Lettuce soup. Now somebody's probably going, "I love lettuce soup." Well, good for you. I'm proud of you. Have at it. We don't like it.
All right. So anyway,
stone fruit can be. What is stone fruit first?
Peach, nectarine, plum, anything that has that pit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so that can be frozen or canned.
Right. You can freeze it. You can can it. You have to peel it, but you can do
for
both.
Canning and for freezing, or just for canning. Could you just do quarters and put it in the freezer with the skin on?
Could. Yeah.
Okay. The skin will
probably might get kind of rubbery.
Right. The skin will probably get a little rubbery there. Many things can be done with apples and pears. I mean, we've done segments where we've gone over 11, 12, 13 different things you can do, from applesauce to juice to whole canning them just in chunks and everything in between. Sauces, yeah. So many things. Onions and garlic can be cooled and kept in a cool place, or you can actually dehydrate them. Now, if you're going to dehydrate onions to turn them into the stringy onions you would put on top of green bean casserole, during Thanksgiving, it's identical. However, you want to make sure you do this in a ventilated area, attic, garage, barn. If you got in-laws in your house that you want gone, that would be the time you would want to do this because it will infuse the entire house. Holly, you remember this. We did this in the kitchen, and we very quickly had to
we had to move it
to the attic, which we have a stairway to the attic. It was
intense.
It was intense, yeah.
Yeah. It was very loud. It was a loud smell.
But the dehydrated onions were phenomenal. They were great.
They were. Yes.
And you can do the same thing with garlic and turn it into garlic powder. So keep those in mind. There were some things.
What did we do with those dehydrated onions?
I'm sure we ate them.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't we have?
No, but I feel like we did something.
Like a dish?
Perhaps. I don't know.
Well, perhaps you've got Japanese beetles in your yard. It's summertime. We're still in summer. It's still hot. And the Japanese beetles are not leaving us yet. So they're wreaking havoc on your garden. So let's take care of them with some Beetle Gone, Holly.
Yeah, if you're looking to successfully control beetles without damaging the environment, look no further than Beetle Gone from Phylum Bioproducts. Derived from a naturally occurring soil bacteria, Beetle Gone is the only organic solution that successfully controls beetle invaders. Just mix the powder with water and spray it on your plants. Once ingested, the targeted pests will stop feeding and die. And since it's an organic BT product that is a great choice to use on your fruits and veggies in addition to your ornamental flowers and trees.
Not only does Beetle Gone work, but it is the only product that is safe to be used around beneficial insects such as ladybugs, butterflies, and bees, and has zero water toxicity. Beetle Gone from PhylumBioproducts.com. That's BeetleGone.com. It's a win-win for everybody except for the Japanese beetles, which is who you want to lose. You can use coupon code GardenTalk10 at checkout to save 10% on your order at BeetleGone.com. Again, that coupon code to get 10% off your order is GardenTalk10.
For more information, please visit theWisconsinVegetableGardener.com.